So today I am super excited because we're going to be talking about a topic that, I don't know if a lot of people know about this, but since I am an advocate for good health and mental health, I'm always researching and looking for different avenues and different techniques that we can use to alleviate whatever is happening to us. So today I have a very special guest, and she's an expert in what we're calling tapping. And you're going to find out all the ins and outs. So stay until the end because she's going to give us some really cool information. Hi, Terri. How are you today?
Oh, hi, Monica. What a great intro. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I hope to share it. I'm just really thrilled with it. And tapping, usually when I'm introduced as tapping, people think that we're going to start dancing. And actually, tapping is a nickname for a short name for EFT or emotional freedom technique. Tapping is actually, it's nicknamed that because you literally are tapping on the body. And so I call my process PRIME tapping. And so we're not, I just wanted to let your audience know they don't have to worry about putting on any tap shoes. This is actually tapping on their body that they're going to learn.
See, that's what I thought when I first was introduced to this way back. A friend of mine, her name is Dr. Simone Alicia. One day she said, come here, I want to show you how to tap so you can relax. And I went like, what is she talking about? And I did it that one time, and it really helped me. And I wish I would have just kept on going, but I've forgotten much about it. So that's why I wanted to, when I found you, I was like, oh my God, because I kept seeing you out there, not only helping people, but you were in the schools and all that great stuff that I want you to talk to us about. And this technique can alleviate a lot of anxiety, a lot of maybe like the depression and illnesses. So please share with us, what is this tapping about?
Well, as I mentioned, it's tapping what they have discovered. It's actually based on ancient acupuncture points. That's, if anyone's ever gone to an acupuncturist, they put needles in very specific places. And they've discovered that there's meridian endpoints, kind of little bundle points, entry places, and meridians is our energy channels. We all know we're energy. Everybody kind of learns that about the atoms and all that. And so this actually works at what they've discovered, which is a good thing. So we don't have to have needles always poking in us every time we want to relax a little bit, is they've discovered that by using our fingers, because we even have the meridians on our fingertips, so by using our fingers on these certain points, these specific points, it sends a calming signal through the body. It literally has been tested, proven it lowers cortisol, which is the primary stress hormone, and it lowers cortisol through the body. And with that, it ends up creating this calming sense of control. That's where you can acquire the focus and things of that nature. So anything that's really empowerment, because when we're feeling out of control, like anxietous, overwhelmed, just like overloaded with which is much of life, we have more pain. We certainly are prone to make errors, which is whether it be at work or in the school. We also are more agitated and more lashing out at one. So there's more fighting and that sort, all of these things where with using tapping, it literally lets us control our body so that we can literally, control it and feel calmer and be able to focus on the direction that we are wanting. We get to basically, as I say, take back control of our life. Truly.
Well, that's what I'm all about, because I feel that controlling and being able to control what's happening to us, and everybody has different situations, but if we can learn to control it, and it's going to be different for everybody. So I understand that there, like you said, there's different points that we use that we're going to, and sometimes there's some verbiage to it, and this can be done many times during the day or once a day. kind of like a meditation if you want to. So can we run through like a quick little demo of how tapping works so people can see that?
Well, before I go into the demo, I love to share, as you see on my chart here, where there are specific points, and I'm going to show everyone those points, but I have here a medical device that is actually used for acupuncture, and it's called an AcuPen. And I love to share, in fact, you probably do the points you were saying you don't even realize it. You know, it's like, oh, I wish I remembered the points. We do them intuitively and don't realize it. When we are stressed, our hand naturally often, headache goes here, goes here. We're trying to remember something, it goes here. So those are actually the points we do. And so with this AcuPen, now I didn't say we hold our cheek, did I? So no. There's nothing here, but I don't know if you can hear this. See the green light?
I see the light. Oh,
yeah.
That's
and then, so here.
Whoa, there it is.
There it is. Now, there's points all over, whether it be, there's one right there under the eye. So they've discovered these are very real, very specific points. That is one of the reasons that you use not just one finger, but 2 or more fingers, 2 or 3 fingers usually. And these points, that way you'll know, like it's not a one specific. If you're tapping with a few fingers, you're for sure will be able to tap on it. And it's very forgiving. I'm going to teach they call a round, show you a round. It's a basic 9. There are more points, but these are the basic points. And if a lot of people start stressing like, oh, I forgot to go here, or, you know, I missed one, and as I'm showing them, and it's not a concern. It really isn't. It's very forgiving. Our meridians cross over, and you can go on either side. You can do only, you know, some people like myself, you'll have favorites. You'll have certain ones that you really can feel that just kind of quick work for you. And so that's where it is. So we'll just jump right in. You okay?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So as far as the verbiage just isn't as important as the motion or the feeling. If you're feeling anxiety and you're thinking, oh, you know, I've got too much going on, I'm overwhelmed with so much I have to do today, then that's the perfect time, because so many times we're so overwhelmed we don't get anything done. We're just like, oh, forget it. I can't do it. So that's the time. So the side of the hand, right along here, is where one of the places that is often started. It's often called a setup. And you can use either side, as I said, and you start and state what your problem is that is really causing you to want to tap. So say you're overwhelmed. Even though I'm so overwhelmed today and have so much to do, and now you say an affirmation of something that would be a positive. So when we're not feeling good about ourselves, what's a good affirmation? Saying something that we love and accept ourselves, or we really are okay with ourselves. So even though I'm overwhelmed, I feel overwhelmed today, I choose to love and accept myself anyway. Okay. And I like to do that a couple times because our monkey mind needs to focus in and kind of reset. When we're tapping, if you'll notice, we're tapping, I don't know if you can hear this, kind of like you're knocking. Okay. So about that level, not so light, but about there. So even though I'm so overwhelmed today, I choose to love and accept myself. Even though I am so much to do today, I am okay with the way I feel. Even though I'm so overwhelmed today, and I don't know if I'm going to get anything done, I accept myself and how I feel about it. And then we can go through the points, and you can start at the top of the head if you want. And you just see how it's right at the top, and you say your issue. I'm so overwhelmed today. And the next one is the eyebrow. It's right here where the eyebrows start. I go across so I can get them both at one hand, but you certainly doesn't matter. And you state your problem again. that you're feeling, oh, I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know if I'm going to get anything done today. And then the next point is right here on the side of the eye. It's not back at the temple, but it's right on the bone. You feel if you follow the bone, and I wear big glasses and I can have it there. And you state your thing again, how you're feeling. Oh, I'm just such a failure. I can't get everything done. And then you come down, and the next point is under the eye and right on the bone, not down in the cheek. Remember when we were doing that? And you're tapping there. I'm so overwhelmed. Then the next point is under the nose. It's right here in the middle.
Okay.
And you feel your feelings. Oh, I just have so much to do. And then the next point is under the lip. Some people call it the chin, but it's really in that groove there. And you're tapping there, and you really state how you're feeling again. Oh, I just feel so overwhelmed. I don't think I'm going to get anything done. It's just too much for me. Then the next point is the collarbone. And right underneath where you feel your collarbone there, it's right underneath it. And you can tap there. Some people use one hand. It doesn't matter, once again. And really state how you're feeling again. So much to do today. It just really feels overwhelming. Then the next point is called under the arm. And under the arm is literally, yes, it's not in the armpit. It's about 4 inches. And some people call it the hug because you're literally like going across, but it's whatever's comfortable for you. And it is, and you state your feelings. I have so much to do today, and then sometimes you start already feeling a little better just from tapping and say, well, I could do part of it maybe. You kind of start, your affirmation starts opening up to accept and see possibilities. That's the point of tapping. And then you take a deep breath. Now that is just the basic points. Truly, when you're doing it for yourself at home and your audience, you don't say the points. You just go through the points and you're just feeling them. You're just literally going through them.
So I have a question. So you started with the problem in the affirmation, but then as you moved around, you were just stating what was the problem. You didn't do the affirmation. So basically you go around with what the issue is, and then when you start feeling better, then you start incorporating, and you can just go around it and around it as many times until you feel okay. Is that how I understand?
That is exactly right. It goes against all so many positive thinking. In fact, many people are afraid they're going to be like, I'm going to be tapping in this negative thing. And actually, as you might have heard the saying, what you resist persists. It's like we want to believe that we can get it all done, or that we feel good about ourselves and what we have to do. But there's that part of us that is saying, you know how you didn't do that last time? And it's like you're way to that, it telling us a negative for whatever your particular issue is. And so the truth is where your power is. So you tap on the truth of how you feel, which is not good. And as you're tapping, and it takes maybe usually by the 3rd time around stating your problem starts literally shifting. It makes a cognitive shift where you start it feels silly to even say the words. And it's like, well, yes, I have a lot to do, but, I'm okay with it. I usually get it done. Or your mind literally starts shifting into a positive on its own when you actually let that bubble up, the negative that you've been trying to suppress and deal with. Well, when you actually bring it up and acknowledge it, then it's able to dissipate, and it's able to like reshuffle and leave room now for that positive affirmation where I'm okay with this. I can do this. I feel good about myself.
And I think that's one thing that a lot of people don't understand, that sometimes bringing up that negativity and then letting it go, it's like the biggest shift ever, because they think, oh, I don't want to be thinking about this negative things. I want to put positive, positive, positive. But it really, it's kind of like the reverse. You bring in the negative and they start working it until it's just kind of, flies away, I guess, right?
Yeah. It truly shifts. It shifts. It's not that it's forever forgotten. As far as if person, it works wonderful for PTSD and past traumas that come back to haunt us in life. So it's certain things. So we can address that, and it gets where it doesn't have the charge. We still may, it's not that we've forgotten about it, but it just doesn't have that startle, that same energy, because now we've learned to process, going back to control as I started. You have control of your emotion, and now you are able to basically put it in another file and move forward with it. Like, that was then, this is now.
That is amazing. And that's why I talk about becoming your own superhero, because you kind of create your own power by doing this. And I think this is what's so great about when you take this, like you take this to the schools and you're teaching the kids, and then teaching the teachers how to utilize this in their classroom to change the patterns of the kids. And I know that there's a cool story that you had told me the other day about how the performance of the kids. Would you mind sharing that real quick for us?
Well, I will. I have numerous stories. I have stories where the kids have shared, where I've learned that their basketball team that had not won a game through the whole season, and they had a lot of upset with their teammates. And when the team tapped and dealt with how they, even though we haven't won, they, we're a great team anyway, and they tapped on other little issues they had with their agenda. I was texted by the mother that they won 3 out of 4 games that time. They had not won the whole season. And I had numerous stories of sports results. But the one I think you're talking about is particularly what's exceptional. I've had consistently 10 to 20% through the years of a test grade improvement by utilizing tapping before test. For the classrooms that implement it, the kids, just the results are better. They are able to remember, they're able to focus. This one 6th grade teacher wrote to me that last school year, I used your Tapping with Terri program for the first time with my 6th grade class. I showed, now here it is, a 30% increase in state test scores, which put most of my students in the exceeds level. And that is just awesome. And I followed up. That was just totally, he just volunteered this information because he literally told me the principal contacted him because his scores were so off the chart. And he said, well, I've been using that tapping that Terri had done in the class.
I love that. And I know that you created some kind of a manual for people where they can actually learn exactly how to maneuver through this. And I'm sure that you also, do you do like private consult with people, or tell more about what you offer?
Okay.
You know about you, because you're like a little hidden secret that I just have.
Okay, well, I like to think
how do you do each other? But we both are so blessed, because you were with Jack Canfield, I was with Tony Robbins, and somehow those minds of ours,
synchronicity. Yes.
Found each other, and going through depression for me, and anxiety, and knowing there's so many people, especially in the kids, going through this. I wanted to offer so many different alternatives, but this is good, and it's simple, and it works.
Yes, so it truly works. What I did is, I've been, for the last couple years, as I've been going to the classrooms, I always leave the teachers with a few scripts that they could practice with, and a chart and that sort, so that things that they could use to apply after I leave their school. And then I put, one of the times I was getting ready, I put it together in an Amazon booklet. It's called Tapping with Terri. improving the classroom experience. They can get it on Amazon. I also have it available on my website, Tapping with Terri. But in it, I have not only scripts that teachers can use for tests or for unhappy thoughts, depending on their grade and their student development. There's some that are for very simple for the primary grades, and then there's some that are set up more for the middle school age, maybe public speaking, some of the exams, things of that nature. And then there's charts in there for them to know the parts. And also, I address things that the teachers can learn to use for their personal life before they go into the class, because the teachers have a lot of anxiety themselves. You can only imagine, right, how we are with our own kids, and then they've got 30 plus kids they're educating. So this is an incredible tool that I believe every classroom really should be using or could be using.
Well, I think it should be used by everybody, because you know, we all go through situations, and then it just becomes a bigger and bigger and bigger issue, and we don't know how to manage it. And I think this right here, it could be good for pretty much, and anybody should know about this.
Anyone. The reason I'm teaching, actually, because I've been busy going to schools. I've traveled all over, and I have started July 2nd. I start a 5-week program to educate and train other people all the ways to introduce tapping into the classrooms, and so that they can know how to introduce it into the school systems, whether it be assemblies. Some of the most middle schools are by assembly, even though there's whatever different instruments. I have all the different things for them that they'll learn. They'll also have an in-depth manual, much more than actually this manual, and so that they'll have all the tools to then, when school starts, come by September, they'll be ready to go out and introduce it. Because the reason I'm so interested in getting this into the schools is that's where it can make such a larger change, because I've experienced this already by doing these many years, is that if with the teachers using it, then they want their kids to use it. When the students are using it, the parents start using it. And it really becomes a ripple effect. So much more of a volume, because then the parents are interested, well, what are they doing? What I see them in there studying. I've literally had them studying and tapping. And then the parents didn't know what they were doing. So it's very good to get it out there. And I believe I want as many as possible to learn my PRIME tapping. It's the way I've integrated different ways to work specifically for the students, and to have it engaging for them, so that it's not just something that they've got attitude with or something more they have to learn, that they're already feeling like they're learning too much. So I really show them how to introduce it so the students will want to engage in it.
That's great. Well, I think I might want to be one of your students, because as I'm going to be speaking for schools about depression, I think this will be a great addition to teach them how to tap. And you know, I think about all the different, you know, like autism and you know, ADD, all these different things. I just feel that this could be that piece of the puzzle that a lot of people are missing. So so anything else you want to add before we close this? I would love to have you here forever, so we can all just enjoy this. But we both are busy girls, and we have lots going on. Is there anything you want to? I'm going to make sure and put all the links under the description of this video, so everybody can either get in touch with you or go to Amazon. Everybody should buy this publication, because seriously, because I learned tapping one day and then I forgot. So I think it'd be a great way to have it there and share it with your family and friends. So, okay, close this up for us, dear friend.
Okay, well, thank you. And the best way to find me is actually, if they want a one-on-one or more direct questions, is directly on my website, Tapping with Terri, and Facebook. I'd love for them to find me on Facebook. I'm Terri Mays or Tapping with Terri. And if they at all are interested in signing up and learning more for the educators program, tapping, they can message me and I will give them the details for that. And we can get started and start making the change in the world we want to live.
That's right. All right, Terri. Tapping with Terri. Let's tap away to our world. And listen, good luck with Jack Canfield. I know you're going to go help him out and have a wonderful time there. So happy travels, and call me when you are back. I want to hear all about it.
Okay, you got that. Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much.